Seth Curry, brother of Steph, getting the start, wearing the number 30 jersey. They all do in the Curry family. It goes back to the Dell days. Charlotte. Porzingis into the lane, gets the big game. If you're Frank Vogel and that staff, what do you want to see out of today?
Well, you know, it's been a lot of time away from the game. You want to see how guys are playing together. You're looking to see just how quickly they can get in sync and do what the coaches have asked them to do. You're not looking for a whole lot of offense, not a whole lot of excitement. You're just looking to see if
see LeBron and AD in the first half, and you just got your first look at Anthony Davis. Little face up, and he knocked down the jumper. There's Seth Curry, and he hits his second three. He's at 45% from three, second best in the NBA behind George Hill. And AD.
So good from 18 to 20 feet.
Again, I told you, I didn't go out on a limb too far picking him as a take your shot.
Being 100% healthy, having some time off to achieve that.
Yeah, James, remember like earlier in the season, he kept kind of touching his shoulder. He kind of tweaked it a little bit, stretched it a little bit. Kind of bothered him for quite a few weeks. But he says there.
It's not bad, Brez.
Yeah, by the way, this game is 7 minutes left. It might seem a little more quickly, going a little more quickly than it really is. 10-minute quarters for only this first scrimmage game. And
he, another one who said he felt good coming in. You know, many people were concerned about his asthma and being down in the bubble. And he said he has done everything up to this point to stay healthy, to stay in shape, and he looks like it out there. Guys, another
thing. Piped it in a little bit.
Is that what we're experiencing, Gator?
It sounds real.
Yeah, they're piping it in, guys, and I'm sure you've been watching soccer overseas. They've been doing that as well as MLS, and it's, you know, the fans are kind of liking it. You've seen it with baseball as well.
Maybe if there's a free throw or something like that. So the sound should sound real and a little familiar to them, hopefully.
I'll tell you, after back on March 11th, they beat the Nuggets 113-97 as Luka lobs it up for Kristaps Porzingis, and he throws it down. And the foul. When we come back, Porzingis will be 15-11 in the first.
Rose up the shot, the chart there, in terms of how they're playing on that end of the floor, ranking 4th in offensive efficiency. They dropped some defensively, as you see Green hitting the three. And that's the place where Abe Bradley, you just can't replace that 94 feet of this.
And on opening night, he was guarding Lou Williams at the end. He also, 5 or 6 threes and had that fantastic game.
Yeah, no question about it, and that's where they're going to miss him. And also just the mentality he brings, Chris. When you have somebody that's the first point guards as well. But offensively, that's where the Lakers may have even a tick on that end, just because of the spacing that Caldwell Pope provides. That's
AD shooting very well from 3 in 2020, much better than he did 2019, as Seth Curry drops another 3-ball, his 3rd of the game. 4 for 5 from 3, the Mavericks. 9 points for Curry, 19-14 Dallas. Danny Green catch and shoot from the corner. He knocked it down. Very familiar spot for Dallas fan. They remember November 1st after that lovely screen by Dwight Howard. Kleba. Danny Green high off the glass.
Is he kind of the forgotten Laker?
We've talked to teammate with rebound. Dion Waiters. Waiters step back. And Waiters.
Gator, walking bucket, Phil Cheese.
Those guys can make plays in half court as well.
First quarter winds down. Dion Waiters. Say hello to Los Angeles Lakers and their fans. Waiters. Pete update. We got Mike.
Yeah, Geeter, so he rolled his ankle, but the report is that he's okay. He went to the back just to get looked at by the training staff.
In the game. Dwight making that late decision to join the Lakers in Orlando. Nice closeout but by Waiters. The shot still falls. 3-point. In big game, I want to bring you in. One of the big reasons why Dallas is back in the playoff hunt. Luka, already a star. And now teamed up with Porzingis as he comes down and hammers one. And it's all tied up at 31. Who just continue to improve. That's the beauty of the NBA, is Kyle Kuzma. Gets to a spot, hits the
season, though that's against Dallas, where some of the other opponents that can go small in that sense by having a big out on perimeter. They did do a pretty good job of that, though. AD sliding over.
And Porzingis, with his fourth personal, went to the bench, and Braun attacked the paint. Nobody bet
throughout the NBA, and I think that would, challenge some of these scores. Who a lot of them, like Harden and Curry, who are untouchable. You can't touch. You see the game get back a little bit to where you tag them a little bit.
LeBron James taking advantage of mismatch with Jackson, goes right to the 6. Jackson gets knocked away. Boban is there, and Boban delivers off the glass. Kuz, Danny Green, KCP, AD, and LeBron. Backdoor cut along the baseline. What a pass from LeBron James to Kyle Kuzma in the dunk. 50-30.
Skeeter, and I think LeBron is smart enough to know that if he can create more weapons, there's the big weapon right there in AD from downtown. But Kuz, Waiters, JR, Pope, anybody that can facilitate and make something happen, LeBron's going to be looking for that type of versatility.
Anthony Davis, Brez, in 2020.
In the last few weeks going into the shutdown, speaking of confidence, how about that?
That started the breakup of a pass, Brez, KCP, LeBron James in transition, just forget it.
Well, there were a couple players there that, could have made an attempt. They just got out of the way. Because when LeBron picks up steam.
In the right situation, the right spot on the floor, and he's motivated. Mike, he's 35 years old. He knows what this means.
A lot over these 4 months, and it's crazy. It's been 4 months, right, since the last had the basketball. As Bale gets on.
How about that, Mike? Dare get up and bang it.
I mean, so LeBron in his body, he just knows what to do. He knows his body. He's been working out really hard, and I think we saw it there in that first half.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point. I mean, people think he's, this is great. LeBron's getting a rest. His body's getting used to chilling. He's like, that's not it at all. For me, my body was rounding third. I was getting ready for 3 guy. Kuz has had to learn on that quick pass to JaVale McGee how to fit with his aspirations as the number 1 goal. He's done that.
Yeah, I think the Kuzma discussion, the biggest thing is that his minutes went way down because he has 2 All-NBA forwards on his team, right? So he
252. I'm being joined right now by Mike Trell. And Mike, as we saw during the suspension of the NBA, a lot going on in our world and especially in our country. You see Black Lives Matter, the message on both sides of the
really is to help educate the Lakers further in the organization's push towards what they would call progress on racial and social issues. Participants in all of this. Tim Harris, the president of the Lakers, and Jeannie Buss, of course, the owner, were trying to really embrace what's been going on in this movement across the country.
Yeah, we appreciate that information, Mike. Great stuff as Quinn Cook hits a layup and the Mavs come right back and scores 65 to 58 kinds of issues and social injustices. And I've talked to you and reached out to you, and we talked about talking to our kids and what that, and his first time protesting on the campus of UCLA.
Yeah, he was in the famous photo with Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown.
Waiters only played in 3 games this year for Miami. And Waiters hits the 17-footer, 69th. 3-ball in the corner is good. Tim Hardaway Jr. played Michigan. He has been great for this Dallas team, especially over the last 20 games. As Kuz hits a much-needed shot for Lakers. 72-64. Curry again. Brez, the numbers go up.
Yeah, Geeter, last season he had 39 points in the game in Philadelphia. He had 41 points against Detroit. He was the Rising Stars MVP.
For him to kind of develop that.
Probably more beneficial to someone like him than anybody who's been out of the game, as you said, Allie, since 2018.
For the Lakers.
Frank Vogel had some nice words about THT when he was talking to him last week, saying he looks good. Like he has really done well in these practices.
THT not afraid. Kuz, offensive rebound. Lakers did by 1.
I feel like Kuz offense, I should say, and he really tried to do other things, played some D, and really pushed up his offensive rebounding numbers.
Boban, Marjanovic.
You know, Brez, another thing with Kuz.
We had originally, when Rondo got hurt and had the surgery shortly thereafter, we know that he's not there in Orlando. So it's probably closer come this weekend to about 4 to 6 weeks. And Frank Vogel did expect it. But yeah, secondary ball handling, that is the thing that Rondo did the most of. You see Deanne Waiter there creating a play for Dwight Howard. That is one thing that Frank Vogel is excited about the prospect of seeing, because Deanne can take players off the dribble. He can get into the paint again, as you just saw. So that's one option. You also have Quinn Cook, who just had a shot at him on the bench. And then Caruso has done some of the playmaking there with the second unit. Now, here's the other thing, though. LeBron James is going to have the ball in his hands for much of the game, especially in high-level playoff moments. It doesn't just have to be guards either, Chris, that fill in for Rondo. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that could be Anthony Davis having some more possessions once they get to the half court. That can be Kyle Kuzma, who can certainly create off the dribble and get his own shot. So they have a lot of different guys that you can see it, and it's probably going to be more of a committee. Players, they're aware of it, because he was really good in training camp, and that's a guy Frank Vogel could call on, and maybe there's another one, Taylor Horton-Tucker.
And there's his first 2 points, back-to-back, Kickoff, and then THT. The fellows are loving it. Mavericks fire 3, miss, Boban. And Boban's teammates love it. Boban. My own Coach Vogel just want to stay healthy and get some guys to run and get out of there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Boban!
No
Sorry,
injuries.
Coach Haynes, I got excited.
Boban, I did too. He's an exciting player in great shape. Yeah, I think, first ever on the field and has proven himself in an early scrimmage game.
Just Jackson out of North Carolina gets the floater in the lane, 88-81. Cook in the game with J.R. Smith, T.A.G. Dwight, Devontae Kaycock right there, J.R. sees Dwight Howard for the alley-oop. Maxi Kleba.
He can hit that.
Good run three.
He can block some shots, hit some threes. Another part of Dallas, a young, bright future.
Yeah, Dallas Mavericks definitely building for the future as we see this alley-oop one more time. Great recognition and the role in the setup by Dwight.
Peter, we talked earlier about kind of Dwight's season redemption. We talked about him off the court, how he's been like really friendly with fans pre-COVID, really wanted to kind of reach out and almost like a my bad. Let's have a redo of 2012-13. But on the court, he's been great for guys. Very good offensive rebounder and scorer, too.
We're going to break. 5:50 left in the game. LeBron, he was the CAA Conference Defensive Player of the Year when he was in college. THT to the rack. Yeah. Lay it up and in. Just misses. The up and under with the left. And Mavericks took advantage on the leak out, 93-85.
That crowd is really good.
87, and there's a crowd.
No response. I'd be upset.
Yeah, still haven't added quite all the game elements yet. For this game, there was no player inductions beforehand. There was no national anthem. That'll be the same for the next scrimmages. Then they will gradually add those elements and some more time on the clock as well. Only 10-minute quarters tonight. But for these second and third scrimmages, it'll be 12-minute quarters.
Quinn Cook did not play in 11 of the Lakers' last 20 games. He has a ring when he played for Gold State. He's been to 2 finals as a member of that Warriors squad. He is one of the most well-liked guys, not just on the Lakers, but in the entire league. Born and raised a Laker fan. His dad passed away. Quinn was young, was a huge Laker fan. Boban. Such valuable minutes and opportunities for the South Bay Lakers. THT, Antetokounmpo, Kaycock. It's great to see these guys at the big club. JR, and one. And his teammates happy because JR hasn't scored since when, Allie? Brez, anybody? When's the last time you played?
2018. 612 days since his last NBA game.
Dwight loves it.
Did you get a call? You were locked in.
Trudell, you still with me? Everyone's Instagrams, you know, JaVale McGee's done a great job, and seeing what these guys doing in the bubble. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is a group of guys that genuinely likes each other and is, when you thought about them originally all going down and being in this bubble concept, at least I, from talking to a lot of these guys, knew they were excited about this time they were going to get to spend together. And I know
Seed, 5.5 game lead with 8 to go. You're most likely to play that 8, and who's it going to be? Right now, it looks like Memphis, but hey, how about Portland getting healthy, looking awful good? New Orleans at full strength. Sacramento. He's even talking about them right now. They got Zach Collins and Nurkic back. They got a guy named Dame Time. Round the back, JR. Antetokounmpo with his bucket.
Well, Giddy, you know, this will be our first time in the playoffs in some time. So,
oh man, big game, James. 8 years. Lakers are down 5 with 28 seconds. JR's gonna shoot a 3, and he makes it. And the Lakers are down just 2. Who says it's only a scrimmage in Smith to Quinn Cook? Reminder: stick around if you're watching Spectrum Sportsnet right now. Post-game show coming next. So hear from the Lakers and Vogel, Allie, Brett, big game. Quinn Cook down 2, 5 seconds. And that's going to do it for the first scrimmage for the Lakers here on the NBA campus in Orlando. And Dallas will win 108-106. Oh, maybe that didn't count. 108-104. Everyone's walking out of there healthy. That's a good sign. Anthony Davis,